Hi eBay, it's Ricky again. Following on from yesterday, I said that we were going to go out today and try some new charity shops, and that's exactly what we did. But the first 9 or so charity shops I did yesterday, so I wasn't expecting to find too much in those shops. And then the rest of the shops that we did were new ones that I'd never done before, and I was kind of hoping that it would go relatively well. Truth is, it didn't. It didn't go very well at all. You never know what you're going to find in shops you've never been to before. But I'll let you know how it went. But first, let's just look at what we got today. First little pick up today was this sealed puzzle. Now, I don't deal with puzzles unless they're sealed. I'm not going to sit there and make puzzles. They've got to be sealed like that. I can just, take a photo, of whatever I want of this item. And I believe I've actually still got this one in stock. I believe I bought this actual puzzle a week or two ago. And I can probably just adjust the amount of this puzzle I've got on eBay, So that there's no work involved there. It's not mega money, but I'll tell you, Ravensburger is a good brand. People don't mind buying that brand, and I always like buying Ravensburger. But I can tell you, some puzzles, they can go for the best part of £1,000 if you're picking the right ones. If you can find the 13,000 piece puzzles, they're nearly £1,000. If you can find the wooden Liberty American puzzles, they go for a couple of £100. Don't shy away from puzzles. Last year I sold about £1,200 worth of puzzles. That's over a month's rent just in puzzles alone. And the thing about puzzles is, this one I got for 50p. Often you're getting them for £1, £2, £3. And some puzzles are, 20, 30, £40. Most of them are like, 8 to £12 sort of range, This one a little bit less because it's a small one for children, But it started my day off. It's a bread and butter item, and I weren't going to leave it there for 50p. Next I bought this car here. It is a Hot Wheel. It's an electronic lights and sound. I don't know if it works. It was £1, but normally you'll press these buttons at the top. They'll make sounds, and one of them will probably make the car move forward while it lights up. These are all right to pick up. This was £1. I can get the best part of a tenner for it. It's Hot Wheels. I'm not going to leave it there. It's a nice little toy for somebody. And while I was paying for that, I said, "How much is your Thomas train?" Now this is an ERTL one, so it's vintage. It's 90s. It's in really nice condition. Now the reason I started selling stuff like this in the beginning, and in my room I've got boxes of the same sort of plastic boxes. They stack on each other, and on the front of the boxes I've got categories, like printer inks or cassette tapes, or and I've got one for Thomas trains. This is a tiny item, but the box is nearly as big as what you see in front of me, that sort of space there. And I'm continually putting trains in, taking trains out. I'm in that box a lot, and I've dedicated a bit of space to Thomas trains in my itinerary. So I may as well make sure that box is full up as best as I can. So what, this is a £5 to £10 item all day long. It's in lovely condition. It's vintage. The paintwork is lovely. So that will get put on eBay for whatever its value is at the moment, and she said I can have that for free, so I'm not going to say no, So I took that, and then still doing shops that I did yesterday, I picked up a Thor. Now this one's a 12-inch one. I paid £1 for him. You can lean him forward or backwards, he makes a noise. Or you can press his belt, he'll make a noise. He's missing his hammer. Now, I don't put figures online anymore because so many people have got them on now. You're not making much money on them. They just sit around not selling. you know, because a lot of people bought all these figures. So what I do now is I take these to the boot fair and put £3 on them. And when people are looking at them, I say they're 2 for a fiver, and they go, 2 for a fiver? They go, I go, yeah, and they go, I'll take 6, you know. They give me £15 for 6 of them or something like that. That's happened a few times. So if I can find them for £1 or lower, I will pick them up. You know, he's missing his hammer, but you know, he's always missing his hammer. Generally, you know, all the years I've been doing this, I've only ever found one who's had his, you know, he still had his hammer in his hand. You know, and these charity shops, they tend to price them up at £3.50, sometimes £5 for these figures. So, you know, I picked him up. He's going to the boot sale in the summer along with all the other ones. Last year in the boot sales, I probably sold nearly 100 figures. And so I pick them up, and it's more stock. So that's where he's going. And then I think after that, after that we started doing new ones that we'd never done before, and it started off really well. I'm not going to tell you where we went, but we went to a village out near me, like a little town, and the first item I picked up was another pair of football boots. So carrying on from yesterday, we've got a pair of Adidas Copper, and I believe these have never been used. Look at that. You know, they seem to be a bit dusty on top. You know, they've probably been sitting at the bottom of somebody's wardrobe. But again, they were size UK 9 in now, and I think they're £20-30. I mean, I've got to do a bit more research, but I mean, they were a fiver. You know, I paid £5 for them. You know, but I'm not going to leave boots like that in a charity shop that are, you know, desirable to somebody, especially when they're large for a fiver. You know, if they were like kiddies ones, you know, I might be more into £3 for them, but when they're adult ones, large feet, you know, and they're in nice condition like that, they're coming with me. You know, I probably wouldn't want to pay much more than a fiver on them, I must admit. But, you know, what we're looking for here is desirable items that are going to sell on eBay. And while I was there, let's put those out of the way, I found this old Matchbox Super Kings Jaguar, and it's in pretty good condition. It was only a pound. Now this was made in 1978. Its boot comes up like so, but the paintwork's pretty good on it, you know, and it's about, you know, it's not perfect, it's not mint, but it's been pretty well looked after. Somebody's really looks after that, and I weren't leaving that there for a pound. Even, you know, even if it was beaten up a bit, I'd have took it for a pound and just sold it at the boot sale for double that. But this will be going on eBay for at least £6. You know, it's not serious money here. You know, but you know, the car made in 1978, and I was born in 75. It's nearly 50 years old. You know, we're getting on now, some of us. You know, so that's a lovely little pickup there. You know, for, you know, a bread and butter item, and I was happy to pick it up. So you know, that was the first shop we went in a new area, and we got the football boots and we got the car for £6. You know, so I was really happy with that. And then we did another shop there, and we didn't find nothing. So we was asking around, where's the other one in town, and we found it, and I bought this Harry Potter book, 50p. Now what I do with these Harry Potter books is I build the collections, and then I sell them, unless they're, you know, a really rare edition. You know, I might sell them individually. You know, the most I've had for a Harry Potter book is £175. That was a paperback of the Chamber of Secrets. It was first print, first edition, and it went to Ireland. In that scenario, of course, I'm going to sell it individually, especially when the condition on it was lovely. What, you know, with the Harry Potter, this is a hardback, and what I'll do is I'll find all 7 of the Harry Potter hardbacks, and I'll list them between £70 and £90, and they always sell. This one, the dust cover's a little bit faded, but I've got quite a few copies of this already. This will be going down the boot sale for £2. I paid 50p. It's just more stock for the boot sale. You know, it's an item that isn't going to take long to sell on my boot sale, along with the 4-figure. You know, it's just putting desirable stuff on my stall that will sell. So I bought that in the next charity shop, and then I see this on the rail, another Arsenal top. Now this is a Puma Arsenal sort of tracksuit top. Makes you look like a little bit like Where's Wally, you know, with that design on it. But I think we can date it possibly because it's got Puma on it and not Nike. It gives you some idea of its age. But I wasn't going to leave that there for £6. I was really happy with that item. It's got a little tiny stain just there, which, you know, but it's going to be washed anyway before I even list it, washed and ironed. But for £6, that had to come with me. I was happy with it. You know, you're looking for stuff like this, you know. It's Arsenal. It's too big for my son, which is good, which means he won't want to nick it because he's an Arsenal fan. So that was that. And then I made a mistake. I bought something like I do. I never research anything. Battle of the Sexes, £3. I thought, well, that's got to be worth more than £3. It's brand new and sealed, and it is worth more than £3. It's worth £3.99. So look, that isn't going to go on eBay. That's just going to again go on my stall. Let me get my money back. It was a mistake. Sometimes, you know, I should check things up, but I just don't really do it. I do it sometimes if I'm really unsure, but this I was sure was worth more than £3, and I was right, but just not much more, you know. But yeah, but you know, somebody will have that somewhere. I'll get rid of it. I'll get my money back. Battle of the Sexes. And then after that, it just went completely downhill. We must have done about another dozen shops that we'd never done before. We went to Wickford. We found 3 charity shops and a second-hand shop, and all I came out of Wickford was 2 Rubik's cubes. You know, they're proper Rubik's cubes. That's the one. That's the plastic one. You know, that I've got loads for the boot sale, and some of them I put on eBay. Like, so I keep a few listings going on eBay. I probably already got 1 or 2 on there, but I like to have at least 3 on eBay. So I'll probably top up my listing with that one. This one though is a unique one, so it is Rubik's, but it's got Hewlett-Packard stickers all over it. So for each colour, I think you've got Hewlett-Packard sticker. So that's probably worth a tenner, just because of the rarity. Now the most I've had for a Rubik's cube is £30, and that one was silver, black, white, and 3 shades of grey, and I paid 50p for that one. And you shouldn't fade the Rubik's cubes, especially if they're rare ones or special edition ones like the old original Snake ones. You know, I regularly get good money for some of the Rubik's cubes, and even the vintage ones like this with the stickers on it. You know, I'm getting £6 on eBay for something like that. You know, if you're picking them up for 50p, again, they're worth picking up. But that's all I got out of Wickford, so we wasn't very impressed with that. And then we flew through Basildon on the way to where we was going. We stopped at a big new one that's been open 6 months or so. I picked up a puzzle, another. You know, we're running out of space to show you. Let's put that out of the way. It's an FX Schmid puzzle. Struggling to see it, but it's basically by the Thames at Windsor. The only reason I bought this puzzle is because it said Windsor. It's got the castle there, so somebody's going to like this puzzle because they like royalty and, you know, anything to do with royalty. So I thought I'd pick that up. I overpaid for it a little bit, £3, but that's the max I really want to have in a puzzle is £3. But it's sealed. You know, it's easy to list, and you know, I'm happy with it. You know, I'm happy to provide a brand new item with no issues. You know, there's not a lot of work to list this. You know, give it a wipe down, that's it, it's done. And basically that's everything I think that we picked up today. Or yeah, that's everything that I picked up. We basically did loads more shops after I picked this one up, and it was a complete waste of time. They was all sort of boutique type charity shops that have put all the good stuff on eBay and left you just the junk out in the shop that it's not worth putting on the eBay. And it was shop after shop after shop, all in really sort of poor areas, but pricing everything up. You know, like people got no money, but they're you'd expect things to be a little bit cheaper for them, but no, they've got no interest in making things cheaper for people. They just want their money. You know, they want their money, which is understandable. They're going to get it whatever way they can. So, you know, they're going to put the good stuff out on eBay. Anything with a little bit of an issue, anything they're a bit unsure of, that will go in their store, or anything that's like, you know, Primark or Marks and Spencer's they'll have in their store, you know. But it was just store like sort of. We was thinking we'd find some good items, you know, cheap items in these areas, but we didn't, and we were really disappointed, and we felt we was wasting our time. So the reality is, we're not going back to that area again. It was just a trial, just to scope out, see what we could do. Could we add some more stores onto our routine? And yet, out of the 3 new towns that we did, only one of them seemed to be worth it. Where I picked up the Arsenal top and the football boots here, and you know, and the Jag, you know, it was reasonably priced. And it was a bit off the beaten track. I guess people aren't really going around there, you know, out there. So you know, we'll be doing that again. But the rest of it, Wickford and Corridom, now that you can keep that. We're not going to waste our effort going out there and wasting our time, because it's just not worth. We've got better things to do with our time, like list this stuff, you know. So, but anyway, that's everything that we picked up today. And it was a poor day. You know, there was a couple of errors in there, but it was a mystery day, a scope out day. We didn't know what we was going to come up against, but tomorrow we'll be back to what we normally do. Lots and lots of shops, hit after hit, see what we can find. Not so much driving around, and we know what we can expect from each shop, what we can expect to find in them shops. You see, a lot of these shops, you know, you go in them and they'll be cheap for games, expensive for books, expensive for everything else, or you go in the next shop and they'll be cheap for clothes, expensive for everything else, and you sort of get to understand what you can pick up in these stores. So we're looking forward to tomorrow and see what we can pick up. Lots and lots of stops, and hopefully lots and lots of profit to pay the rent. All right, well, thanks for today and listening to you know, our fail of a day. Am I making the rent? Yes, I am. You know, we've got 2 good items there. You know, the football boots and the Arsenal top. The rest of it is what it is. You know, but we'll see you again tomorrow. I'll report in what we get, and hope you enjoyed this little video. And I'm Ricky. I'll speak to you again soon. See ya.